Welcome back to F124. We are here for the second round of our career mode. We are driving for AlphaTauri and we are gonna up the AI by just a bit because we were a bit too fast last race. I can already tell you the qualifying is gonna be an awesome one and we are gonna up it again. But first we have to do our specialist, as we have to stay away from other cars. We cannot have more than 4 possible collisions with other people. I think I got the better position than my teammate. We are waiting, yes, because it's not that difficult compared to Yuki at the moment. And of course, perform 250 gear shifts during a single session. It's easy, and I expect myself to get a few corner cutting or track extending warnings, so let's just try to stay within the white lines this weekend, as we do not want a penalty during the Grand Prix. But if you're new, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you're already liking it, and let's move on almost to qualifying, as we still are looking for some upgrades. Of course, we have to do upgrades. We are the second to worst car. Did I say that right? Yeah. We are the second worst car on the grid, so we are looking at what we can do, as we are going to do the rear wing upgrade. So we are not going to rush it, as that is 55% failure chance, and my teammate is doing durability.
Welcome to the Jeddah Corniche, one of the fastest circuits on the calendar. But let's see who will be fastest of them all. We're about to set the grid for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Yes, it's qualifying.
Of course, if you are trying to get fast on track, the first thing that you have to do is durability. So very, very happy with my teammates who knew that early on. Of course, yes, very nice. But we started the session off by going on to that one curve that makes you bottom out. It isn't as bad as last year's game, but there's still a lot of bottoming out. And as we are starting our first lap in Q1, we have the lovely Charles Leclerc, who's starting his lap as well. He couldn't just wait a few seconds to sit behind me and eventually catch up to me to get a bit of slipstream throughout the lap. No, he wanted to start right behind me, and that helped me getting a faster lap than him, because yeah, he backed off. That's actually new, by the way, because last year's game they would just push on, but now he actually backed off a tiny bit. Of course, he's not that far behind me, or maybe I'm just fast. But it looked like he just backed off as soon as he knew that in the first corner he was not going to get it. We have already deployed everything that we can in one lap, and we cross the finish line to get fastest lap. It's only Alonso, Stroll, and oh my god. It's not only Alonso and Stroll. We are P2 in Q1. Lando Norris is 3/10 quicker. We only did that lap. Guan Yu Zhou, by the way, only P3. Not only P3, in P3 as well. So maybe it's pure luck. No, my teammate is out in P19, so it will not be that difficult to stay ahead of him during the race. I said it's one of our goals this weekend. Actually, it's every single weekend the goal, because we always want to beat our teammates. But it looks like we are now going into turn 3 and eventually turn 4 and turn 5 in Q2. To be honest, I felt quite fast through the first sector, as we had quite a lot of downforce on the car for this weekend. I decided to go for a bit of higher downforce setup. Even though it's a lot of straights, as we lose the back end, we lose our time as we go over the track limits. But I felt like through the first sector I could make up enough time to keep the guys behind me, and with ERS and DRS we can definitely give it a shot during the race. But we start another lap with exactly 1 lap of fuel mix remaining. And yeah, I can tell you already, we are not going to make it on fuel. But that won't stop us from trying at least. We are already up by half a tenth, making that a full tenth and almost 3 seconds. Yeah, we were absolutely flying. Of course, Bottas in P11. We are still only P15 as we are going to cross the line now. Fuel is... Nope, we got no fuel, but we still made it to P5. I kid you not, this was my only lap in qualifying in Q2, and we made it through. I decided to not go out again because I didn't feel like we deserved to be in Q3, but for some reason we were still P10, even though we didn't have enough fuel to finish the lap. We actually made sure that Carlos Sainz is not into Q3. How did we knock out a Ferrari? Alexander Albon as well, just a few thousands behind me. but the Ferrari not through to Q3. Well, let's see what we can do then. Maybe we can get pole position. Who knows? As we start our first lap here in Q3, it's a beautiful start. As Max Verstappen puts in a 129.855, almost getting track limits, but we stayed within the white lines. Didn't check it, but I think it is because the game allowed it. But at the moment, we are still the last driver to cross the line for our first lap. I don't know if this is my only lap. I think it is, because we only had like one set remaining, and then I wanted to get a soft set for the race as well. But we crossed the line. That's okay, that's why I only did one lap. We are P2. Eventually we finish P6, but still we are gonna up the AI to 95 because it's ridiculous. We shouldn't be in P6 fighting against Norris and Russell, but you will see in the next few episodes that will change. So let's get down to the race. It's time for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
We've got fast sweeping corners under the lights and 20 racers all ready to write their name into the quickly growing history of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Norris, Lightning, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, Gasly, Albon, Sainz, Stroll, Bottas, Joe, Sargent, Ocon, Magnussen, Tsunoda, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Well, it's been a long time since I last worked with you. Good to see you again today, Anthony Davidson. Now, we had great fun watching them win last time out. What a great victory it was. But can they carry that into today's race?
It's the important one, isn't it, Crofty? You've done it once, can you do it again? But, you know, if you start believing in yourself and the confidence starts to build, that inner confidence is what you need. And you can carry that through to future races, including this one, and you set that ball rolling. That's the critical thing that they're looking for here. And I believe if you've got that first race win or a win at any stage, it can start to roll with you in a good way.
So we start in P6. Our front tires are still a bit cold, but let's see if we can get a good grid position. And hopefully we can get a good start and eventually take a few points home this weekend. Last weekend we got P9. That gave us our first tier points on debut, and even though my teammate went backwards in the race, he still got driver of the day. So I think it's a bit rigged. If that's still the same today, I'm gonna be a bit pissed, but only half a meter away from the perfect grid slot. I'm very happy with that, as we are gonna start the Grand Prix. It's 3, 4, 5 red lights. It's lights out, and away we go as the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix goes underway, and we have a perfect start going in between the Ferrari and the Red Bull. We stay behind, and that looks like we have a Red Bull front wing in front of us. Well, not an entire Red Bull front wing, as Perez loses his end plate. That might lose him a bit of pace through this fast sweeping first sector. But at the moment he's still running away from me, so I don't really think he has that much damage, even though we saw the damage. But one thing that I noticed throughout the entire weekend, well, actually only the race, because I didn't really see other people during qualifying and I didn't do practice, I just did the simulate practice stuff. A lot of the AI, I want to say almost every AI, as Max Verstappen was in the fastest lap, a lot of the AI use a shitload of ERS as you go onto the DRS zone after this straight that we're on right now. It's insane how fast they pull out of that corner as we go to that point. Now I don't know if we are going to see it this lap. Yes, we are, but you can see it's 0.3 of difference. If we take a look, we have DRS because it's lap 2, and in the new F1 game you get DRS after lap 2. But you can see it's half a second now. Even though we didn't really push that much, well, I have to be honest, that happened every single lap. We didn't see that one coming, as Norris is now into P5. We dropped down to P6. Max Verstappen pushed in another fastest lap, and he's already clear by a big margin. But you can see we are losing time to the leaders. Of course, we have put up the difficulty to 95. We will put it even higher at the end of the Grand Prix. Don't you worry about that. But we are now fighting against Russell, Hamilton and Alonso. And it looks like we are still in the fight for P2. Not really, but let's say we have a chance at getting a podium this race. But as you can see on the straights, I'm really slow. I'm really slow. So that's annoying, but as long as I can stay within the DRS zone, we should be able to get at least a few points. As the top 10, okay, welcome to the scene, Fernando Alonso. Carlos Sainz is trying to overtake him, going around the other side. We don't see that, as we don't look backwards in a corner. But you can see that there's very little margins in between the cars. And on the minimap, you can't really see it now, as we are going behind, like, the standings stuff. The top 10... not really top 10. P1 is a group all by himself in another league. You got then P2 to P10 is a big group, and P11 to P20 is a big group. So even if we lose these two positions to Sainz and Alonso, we are still inside the points, and I have a feeling that we are not really that slow that we lose time to the guys behind, like the Alpines, the Haas's, my teammate. My teammate is actually in P20 at the moment, so yeah, don't expect anything from him. As Carlos Sainz is once again very close. He's very close. That's really annoying. If you look backwards, you can't see anything except the car. As we go for a deep dive into turn 1 and 2. We didn't actually meant to do that. We went late onto the brakes, used a bit of ERS. Can we get that overtake done on Lewis Hamilton? Yes, we can. Oh, what a beautiful move. That was actually one of my favorite moves so far. Even though we haven't done a whole lot of races as it's episode 2. We lose the position almost. No, we try to stay in the fight. Can we get the better exits? Yes, we can. No, we cannot. And there goes Lewis Hamilton. Of course, our car is not as fast. It's quite draggy as well. So we're doing a lot of upgrades to make sure the car isn't as draggy. As Max Verstappen goes into the pits, he loses P1. But he'll probably gain that back as soon as we go into the pits as well. The pit stop strategy for today is only a medium to hard, a one stop actually. So it's not really that interesting. As we go into the pits on lap 11, we should go in on lap 10, but I decided to stay out one lap longer. I didn't actually tell the team, but they were ready because they were not waiting for me, they were waiting for my teammate. So my teammate will be held up a bit, but I'm the one who's going to give them a bit of points, a few points, but Yuki won't actually do something. So we have to wait a very long time. This is not good for our pit stop time, as we are still ahead of Norris, but you can see Leclerc and Hamilton are quite far ahead. We lost about 4 seconds in that pit stop, and that might actually ruin our chances of getting like a top 5, a top 6. Even though we didn't really have a shot, it would have felt nice to still be there. As Carlos Sainz, we managed to get an undercut on him, as we are now back up into P7, 3 seconds to George Russell ahead. But we won't be catching them, as our pace is good through Sector 1, but Sector 2 and Sector 3 we are quite slow. And our fuel is burning faster than expected. That's one thing that I have to say about the game. You lose so much fuel. Like, I had half a lap of overfuel. Of course, this wasn't as much as I will have in the next few races. But the fuel, after like 13 laps, we lost about a lap of fuel. We have to do a lot of lifting and coasting, and that's what I'm doing here, but I didn't see Lando Norris getting through, so we lose 2 positions at once. But as long as we can stay close to the guys and we can still have DRS, we should be fine. And hopefully near the end of the Grand Prix, as we save enough fuel, we can fight back to eventually get ourselves maybe P9 again. It would be quite funny to see that our first and second race will be both P9. So yeah, we'll see about that, as we still have 9 laps to go. A big fight ahead, as Alonso, Norris and Sainz are all fighting for P7. It's only 1, 2, 4... Wait, is it 1, 2, 4, 6 points? Well, I had to count that. I'm not really into F1 anymore, it looks like. Well, yes, I am. I love F1. I love the F1 game. And if you have a different opinion, let me know in the comments down below, as we get a purple Sector 2. Wait, Sector 2? I thought our car wasn't that fast on the straights, but we are on positive fuel again. You can see we touched the wall a few times as we go for the overtake on Carlos Sainz in lap 24 of 25. Yeah, you get a collision warning for that. I'm sorry, Carlos. I didn't mean to touch your car. But no damage to either car, so we should be fine. But the tire wear is really horrible. That's why, because it's on simulation damage. Otherwise, you wouldn't have that issue, as we still have 1 lap to go. It's the final lap of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen is once again leading by a mile. And you can see Alonso and Norris, they are helping me so much. If they didn't scramble here, we wouldn't get a shot at actually trying to overtake Carlos Sainz. Is once again at the same spot that we did last lap. Can we go for the overtake? We bang wheels again, but this time we can stay side by side, going for a deep dive into the inside, down the inside, not into the inside, but we make it stick, and that's P9 for now. Can we maybe overtake Norris as well? Well, I don't think so, as we've had our strongest point of the circuit already, and we tapped the wall again. Not really that great, but luckily we stay ahead of Sainz. He's only 2 tenths behind us, 35% on the front right. Max Verstappen has won the Grand Prix. It's 2 wins in a row at the start of 2024 here. Can we get a better exit? No, we cannot. You can see them go away. But it's still P9. We got P9 twice in a row. Let's go.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
And once again, he's not even happy. I'm in an AlphaTauri and he's not happy about me getting points. Watch. Okay, it's Carlos Sainz. Okay, I think he deserves that, yeah. I mean, we went backwards, so yeah.
Effort from the team and a magnificent drive to secure victory here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
And that's 2 wins in a row now, of course, Crofty. And it marks the fact that it's not a fluke. So, you know, their head's in the right space. What more can we see going forward?
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team.
And once again, Max Verstappen is on the podium if he wins the next 2 Grand Prix. If we count F1 23, like the real life version, he will get a new record. So can he do that? We'll find out in 2 episodes time, or maybe next episode. If he doesn't win that, well then it doesn't matter what happens in 2 episodes. But Oscar Piastri gets a podium and Lewis Hamilton is on the podium as well. But it's once again Red Bull who wins the Grand Prix. Leclerc in P4, George Russell in P5. We are in P9, gaining us another 2 points, putting us on a total of 4. And my teammate is P19. Yeah, I don't know if it's a car or if it's my teammate, because he hasn't been driving great these first 2 races. So hopefully he can step up his game. We are going to advance. No, we are not. We are going to look at the standings. We are in P10 at the moment. Only 11 drivers have gained some points, and still 3 teams, Alpine, Williams and Haas, are not gaining any points so far this season. But there's still 22 episodes to go. 22 races actually. Until the end of the first season. So there's still a long way to go for everybody to gain a lot of points as we go up in rating. Once again, 67 overall rating. And that actually puts us at 49% recognition. We gained a percentage over last episode. We only had 48 in the last video. So I'm really happy with gaining at least just 1. But now we know that if we go up in recognition, we will go up in the rating, we go up in the recognition as well. So hopefully, as we keep continuing our form, going towards the Australian Grand Prix, hopefully we can gain, of course, a lot of recognition and we can be the better driver for the team. We, as a rookie, are already beating our teammates 2 for 2. We gained points in every single race. We've qualified quite high into Q3 both times, and we managed to get points on our debut and here in the second Grand Prix. If you like this video, then please like and subscribe. We are on our way to 1000 subscribers and getting closer every single day. And if you want to see more, well, you just have to wait 2 days. As in 2 days, the new episodes of the Australian Grand Prix will be uploaded. See you in the next one. Goodbye.